Hello again. It didn't take long for Shabana Mahmoud's plans to alter the current rules for asylum seekers to run into opposition from her own party. She has essentially taken what Denmark is doing as her pattern and hoping that this will play well to the electorate. Specifically, she is hoping to regain the trust of working class people who have suffered the most from mass immigration. She is determined to portray herself as a tough person who will really give those asylum seekers what for. But the problem is that the only people taken in by this game are the extreme left-wingers in her own party. Since they'll probably already be voting Labour, this means that she's really wasting her time. Worse than that, she's triggered a civil war in the party between those who fear that the party is slipping towards oblivion and those who are concerned that she's going to alienate Muslim voters. You see, many Muslim voters are already deserting Labour to vote for independent Muslim MPs, and there are those in the Labour Party who fear that cracking down on immigration will accelerate this process. In other words, all that Mahmoud's speeches have achieved is to split the party. Meanwhile, Nigel Farage is beginning to sound a bit like Marshal Pétain, the collaborationist leader of Vichy France during the Second World War. This is not a good look. He is desperately keen to maintain his lead over both Labour and the Conservatives. And with at least 3.5 years to the next election, he's worrying that he might have peaked in the opinion polls a little too soon. He's desperately trying to maintain momentum now. Harold Wilson famously observed that a week is a long time in politics, but 3.5 years is a veritable eternity. Farage will have to keep up the momentum because if once he starts falling back in the polls, this could be enough to cause people to lose confidence in his ability to win, and they might then drift back to Labour or Conservative. For this reason, Reform have been pinching old slogans from the Tories, ones that they used 15 years ago, such as family, community and country, which David Cameron first coined in 2009. This has been cropping up on Twitter and Facebook lately. The thumbnail shows its use in Broxbourne back in May. The only problem with this slogan is that it sounds a little too much like Marshal Pétain's appeal for patriotism. And, even worse, it puts one in mind of Ein Reich, ein Volk, ein Führer. Not that I have anything against either Vichy France or Nazi Germany, you understand, but it does evoke memories of both countries. I don't blame Farage, mind, for hunting around in this way for material that he can pinch, because some people are already saying that he shot his bolt too soon, and he would have done better to have a slow build-up to the next election, rather than this meteoric rise years beforehand. We shall see.